Welcome to Flashpoint Friday, a weekly series where I select one game at random from Flashpoint's archives and give it a try. And maybe, just maybe, the game might actually be good. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Flashpoint Friday. And today we have a game called Professor XYZ, or XYZ, I suppose, depending on where you live. This just started up with no preamble, so let's just read this letter here. Welcome. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to prevent Nip and Tuck from opening my safe. To trap them, you have to build a security system using the simple machines you have at hand. Good luck. Okay, so it looks like we just click on this to proceed. Alright, so we got some basic info, I guess, before you start in the game. Let's just take a look at the characters here. Tuck. When he was little, Tuck loved to eat. He'd tuck into anything put in front of him. Hamburgers, pizza, boiled potatoes, even spinach. As a result, Tuck grew and grew until he couldn't tuck in his shirt anymore. Until he couldn't see his toes. Inside Tuck's enormous body, there's a heart of gold. Tuck is always ready to help anyone, especially his buddy Nip. So let's see, Nip. The wheels of Nip's brain are always whirring. He thinks about anything and everything, as if it were a TV playing in his head all the time. His curiosity sometimes gets him into trouble when he breaks the rules, and his adventures just wouldn't be the same without his buddy Tuck. Nip and Tuck met while playing hooky from school, and have been inseparable ever since. Okay, so a couple of rascals, some minor ne'er-do-wells, I suppose. They don't seem like they're too bad, though. Let's see, Professor XYZ. Professor XYZ has a debit card so he can use his banking without anyone seeing him. Rumor has it that the safe in the professor's house contains incredible riches, and that rumor's reached to Nip and Tuck. Alright, so there's a quiz button here, clues and game. Let's just go into the game then. Instructions. Click on the red button to open your toolbox. Click on the tools and drag them to the right place inside the machine. Close the toolbox and click on the handle to start up the machine. Remember, Nip and Tuck are fast workers and might get the safe open before you drop the cage over them. Okay, so there is a bit of a time constraint you have to deal with. Alright, so let's just see what we can do. So there's the button, and we've got some devices. Let's see. I'm not sure what this would do. Can I put it back? Yes, you can. So you can kind of experiment, I guess. Like that, I guess, and so it's a little bit, it kind of reminds, the premise at least, reminds me a little bit of the title, The Incredible Machine, if any of my viewers are familiar with that. It was a classical DOS game by Dynamics, where you created your own, like, Rube Goldberg style contraptions. So that's presumably what we're doing here, and they're hard at work on this already. There's a bunch of cogs or gear shadows. I'm not sure. It doesn't appear like I have anything for those. They might just be background decorations, or... Okay, that's probably how much time I have left up at the top. How do I manipulate this? I mean, the presentation is actually pretty good. I kind of dig this. I just have to figure out how to get this to operate. Let's see. Or maybe it just does it automatically when the timer hits the 12 o'clock position. I don't know. I could wait a bit, see what happens. Almost there. Yes. Okay. Oop. Ah. Okay. So that was presumably... Yeah, I probably waited too long. But I'm not sure... Maybe you have to close the window in order to do this, in order to activate the machine. I have some slightly different pieces, too, this time around. Or so it seems. I'm almost certain this screwdriver is supposed to go here. Is there anything I do with this? Pull the lever? Okay. Maybe that's how you get things going with the machine. So it could be just a matter of trial and error here. It should be worth mentioning, I know I've mentioned this with my first episode, which is also a puzzle game. I'm not very good at puzzle games, so keep that in mind. The solution might be staring me straight in the face, and I just might not be bright enough to notice it. But yeah, presumably that's supposed to turn it on. But yeah, maybe it won't activate unless you put everything out onto the screen. No? Okay. Well, I'm not sure how best to go about this, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's kind of a shame, because it definitely seems like there's a potentially good game here. I just don't have the wherewithal to quite understand this. Maybe press the button. Oop. Alright. Let's see what this is. Roll your mouths over the image and look. Yes, okay. If I put something out here and then do this, will it give me any info? No. Alright, well, it's kind of a shame, because I don't really know how I'm supposed to go about this. Okay, I am back, and after some more trial and error, I figured out what you're actually supposed to do in this game, and how it all works. So, let me show you, let me demonstrate. So, what I didn't notice last time I hit this question mark is that there are certain areas, certain holes that you can mouse over, and it'll give you hints about what device to use. For instance, this requires a device that converts rotary motion into linear or back and forth motion. And this requires a simple machine that changes the direction of the motion without changing the magnitude of the force applied. So it gives you hints. It doesn't tell you outright what devices to use. But I was able to figure it out off camera. And I'm going to demonstrate how to do it. I won't do the whole thing in one go. I'll just show you how I kind of approach this process. So anytime it plays an animation like that, you know you're onto something. So for this, you line this up here so the ball will fall here. Turns out I was right about the screwdriver all along, which I shall demonstrate here. See how it works the screw here? So, what if we attach the bomb in the vise here? And this little mouse resting is kind of a hint what to do with the cat. So, this should do it. Let's take a look, see what happens. And there we go. Bravo! You succeeded in the mechanical mission. This accomplishment earns you points on the periodic table scoreboard. To earn more points, go to the quiz. You'll find it easier to answer correctly if you read the clues first. I had to leave on another urgent mission. See you soon, Professor XYZ. Now, quiz will just take you to another defunct webpage, so there's really no need to go ahead with that. And unfortunately, though, having figured all this out, there is only one scenario in this entire game. So the best you can do is just repeat the process if you really wanted to see it second time. So might as well just do it real quick here. One more time for posterity's sake. Alright, and that'll do it. So, what is Professor XYZ? It is a puzzle game where you construct a Rube Goldberg device in order to capture some ne'er-do-wells who are trying to open a safe. Perhaps inspired a bit by Dynamics' The Incredible Machine series. I suppose if you're really a fan of constructing Rube Goldberg devices and such, you might get some, albeit very limited, mileage out of this. The main problem, though, is that there is only the single scenario. So if you've watched this, then you've seen all the game has to offer. So I can't really recommend it outside of just the most cursory playthrough. And even then, if you know how to do it, then it's pretty trivial. But in any case, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Flashpoint Friday, and take care, everyone.